All right, so I'm just honestly going to read off the tweet as kind of a sort of script here, just because I've already had this conversation so many times, and if I just go off ranting, then I'm just going to get off track and just say things that I don't like necessarily mean. So no, I will clarify. No, I did not use any AI, and I made sure to put a little post here clarify that this was just me on a fucking rant already while typing, just making sure that I got all the points that I was trying to make. Anyways, this is my my workflow here, by the way. I got my VS Code open using Claude, which is what I mainly use for my deving or whatever, my vibe coding, as the kids say. I just use GitHub desktop because it's easy. I always have the folder and CMD running, or as some might call the terminal, whatever. Anyway, so on regards to Cardano wallets, this is something that I've gotten recently pretty passionate about. I'm kind of annoyed because all the top applications on Cardano seemingly do the same stupid thing. And like I could show an example of how like it just doesn't exist the same way. If I go to, let's go to OpenSea, okay, and then I'll use WayUp because they're also a good example of what you should be doing. And then let's get Strike Finance as a bad example of what not to do. I'm sorry to like single anyone out, but what has to be done and will be done. So now I'm just going to read it off, and then I'll go ahead and show the exact example that I mean. Okay, so I have unfortunately resorted to backpacking off of Vesper Wallet as well as Lace Wallet. And if you don't know what that means, it basically means that for Magic Money, I have to announce myself, and normally I would just announce myself as Magic Money, which I do. I do that as well, but I also announce myself as Vesper and Lace Wallet so that an application wouldn't know the difference. It just thinks it's interacting with Vesper or Lace, but really it's Magic Money under the hood. Anyways, and then I have to force inject Magic Money Wallet into the DOM, which basically just means I'm making sure that the application itself displays Magic Money and not Vesper or Lace so that the user knows exactly where to click. It'll inject my logo and name and everything that would be inside the SIP30 standard. And by the way, you shouldn't do this. I just should prefix it by saying that, but anyway. This will also be an unfortunate security risk for any and all dApp providers, because any bad actor can do the same with a fake version of that wallet, like Lace or Vesper, that may be in the hands of an unsuspecting end user who maybe got tricked into downloading a fake version of the wallet, basically. The reason Ethereum and Solana have curated this standard and numb all wallets with window.ethereum is to avoid this type of malicious behavior. And by the way, Cardano's SIP30 does the same thing. So like it already exists, but these applications that I'm about to name don't do this. I don't know what the hell is in the heads of the developers when they think to do the things they're doing, but they're doing it wrong. Period. End of discussion. There is no arguing it. They're doing it wrong. And that would be MinSwap, Strike, Perps, and Dex Hunter, and honestly much more. Like if I went into Magic Money right now, went to the App Store and clicked around in a bunch of these different applications, it seemingly seems that like a lot of these top dApps in Cardano all do the same one stupid thing and do a hard-coded wallet list. Anyway, it was actually Coinbase with the Coinbase wallet that forced this standard to be implemented the way that it is on EVM chains, when they had to do the same exact thing with MetaMask and would force the early version of the base app to pop up even when you click the MetaMask logo on applications. Now all wallets, which is like 200 plus wallets, show up on all Ethereum applications, and it prioritizes the user's downloaded wallets at the top of the list for them to choose from. You know, some good user choice options in a permissionless and a, anyway. Trustless ecosystem. I don't have the same issue with Magic Money on Solana or Ethereum because they properly enumerate all wallets on the chain using the proper standard. I have tried to talk with Strike and Dex Hunter, and both teams have been very ignorant to this. I'm hoping that MinSwap can be the example the space needs and sees exactly what I'm saying as it comes from a good place. I see a security risk in these hard-coded wallet lists that dApps use, and I explained that above. A fake wallet, blah blah blah, could do the exact same thing that I'm doing. Even though I'm doing it in good practice, I still think that no one should have to do this. This is a trustless ecosystem, and Cardano has been very loud about how serious they take security and how safe Cardano is, but yet right at the front door to the most popular applications, they have a security guard that doesn't know how to properly check IDs. It lets anyone pass if it has the right announcement, which is what I explained again earlier about announcing myself as one of them. I basically show them a fake ID, and they're like, yeah, sure, you're good to go. It's bad security practice, which is the opposite of secure and relies on a trust and permission in a trustless and permissionless ecosystem. Stop using hard-coded wallets lists under the guise of trust me, bro, and properly enumerate all Cardano wallets on all applications. This is quite literally why SIP30 exists in the first place. And if I can do it, someone with literally no coding experience, and I rely heavily on Claude, then y'all with the experience should be able to do this. And by the way, Chainlens is open source on GitHub. Then someone who operates an application that has the ability to transact millions of dollars worth of digital currency should be able to do the same thing and see the complete disregard for your bad security and start properly using the SIP30 wallet connection standard. I shouldn't have to be this loud about it this many years into the cycle of Cardano, guys, for real. And then I just make a note there. Okay, I just had my video thing fail on me there, but I've actually decided let's go switch over to the Magic Money wallet itself and show you some good and bad practices. So let's go to OpenSea. Okay, we'll open that in the browser. Let's also get Way Up. Okay, let's open you in a new tab. Let's get Strike and open you in a new tab. And just for good measure, let's get Dex Hunter and open that also in a new tab. Okay, we're gonna reject all wallet things right now. Okay. So I click Connect Wallet. The first thing that you see is exactly what you would expect when the standard works the same. You get your little modal, whatever the fuck you want to call it. That'll show all enumerated wallets that use the network. And Magic Money is at the top because it's the one that's downloaded currently. Now this is just using the Magic Money and wallet and browser as the example. It'll work the same way with the extension, but you click more options and look, there are tons of wallets. Okay, it's not going to show all of them right here, but it is bigger than this list that you see here. Let's click on here, and just like that, boom, I'm in. No struggle, completely frictionless. OpenSea just works. Okay, let's go to Way Up, because I think that the way Way Up does it is actually a good example of how you should do it if you are going to have some sort of list of trusted wallets. You click connect. The first thing that you'll notice is that Vesper wallet is lit up, but there is no Vesper wallet. In fact, this browser doesn't support add-ons. This is me using the backpacking of Vesper to be able to brute force my way in to a dApp. Again, a malicious actor can also do the same with a fake version of the Vesper wallet. I'm trying to show good security practice. Now, why I like what they did is because even though it's hidden, there is an unverified wallet section. And when you open it, you will see Magic Money there, properly announced under its own name, an ID that is owned by Magic Money and no other wallet. And if I click it, boom, I can connect. Just like that, completely frictionless. The only thing is that there was a bit of an extra step, which yes, can be kind of annoying, but I get it. They also have trusted wallets, and that would be the big list that you see up here. But just to show you, if I click Vesper, boom, it signs me in. It just thinks I'm Vesper. It didn't even ask me to sign because I already signed it with Magic Money. And really, it's Magic Money that holds the keys. And if I go look here, boom, you'll see OpenSea way up, and look. You'll see Pulse Finance also connecting with Midnight and Cardano, okay? That's another website that I also had to force inject myself into. So, you know, Pulse is none the wiser that I'm using a completely different wallet than the one that I just told it that I'm using. Again, this is bad security. Cardano displaying it front and center. I don't have to do the same thing anywhere else because everywhere else uses the standard wallet connector the way it should be used. Cardano does not. Let's go again and check out now Strike Finance. Connect. Cardano. You only see Magic Money because, again, I'm backpacking off of Vesper and able to click it. And if I move this out of the way, what do you see here? Connecting to Vesper, but with the Magic Money logo. That's again because I'm force injecting my wallet into it so that I can basically Trojan horse my way in. And the app itself is none the wiser. This is again bad security practice on the application side. It doesn't know how to tell the difference between the wallets because it's not properly using the standard. And then if I go, where is it? Was it here? Yeah, Dex Hunter. This was the other one. So right here, again, you see Magic Money, but this is actually Vesper. If I click it, it's none the wiser. It has no idea what I just connected with. It thinks it's Vesper. Again, this is bad security practices, and these are from the very top dApps on Cardano. Like, it's no wonder that a hack happened. I wouldn't even be surprised if somehow, some way, the whole SecondFi app didn't actually have SecondFi to blame. I wouldn't be surprised in some capacity if someone else managed to use their code in a malicious way and just announce themselves as SecondFi so that the application was none the wiser. I would not be surprised one bit. So that's just me trying to prove my point. And you know what? I'll go a step further and we'll go to Magic Eden. Why not? It's a Solana only application now. It used to have all the Bitcoin and EVM and whatever, but now it's just Solana again. So let's go ahead, let's log in. This website is notoriously slow and I have to figure out why. Yeah, Magic Eden always has trouble loading in here actually. Maybe I should try a different one. That's my fault. Magic Eden is just one of the first ones that I think of here. Oh, Jupiter. Here, perfect. Perfect example. Connect. Look, Magic Money just shows up. You know why? Because they properly use a standard. I've already made this argument before about USB. Could you imagine if USB didn't have a standard it would be a complete mess with all devices, because you would go and you would buy a USB cord thinking, oh, I can use this to charge my phone and I can use it for data transfer. And maybe it's the data transfer you want, right? And then come to find out, you go to plug it into your computer and all it can do is charge. That's the type of future we would have had if we didn't have a proper USB standard where, the device itself has to have certain functions to be called, I don't know, USB-C or USB-B or USB-A. It creates, like, you look at Apple, they had lightning cable. Their argument was, oh, it's stifling our innovation, or it doesn't allow us to innovate. But yet, their technology was inferior to USB-C. So their argument just fell flat on its face, and that's why they had to adopt USB-C as a standard, because the lightning cable was actually the thing that was in the way of the end user. And this is kind of the same argument that I'm having right here with these wallets. For the end user, this is going to be nothing but a point of friction, not using the standard that does exist. It also creates security problems, because now anyone can Trojan horse their way into your application, announce themselves as whatever the heck you see fit, and your security guard at the front gate doesn't give a shit. You can just hand them the fake ID and they're like, yeah, go ahead in. And for all you know, they're an underage folk. This is quite literally the same correlation. And I just thought I'd make this video to make this point, showcase it with proof, and hopefully these applications on Cardano start to see the light and stop creating friction points for developers. And nobody wants to come into your Discord to come talk to you, to come, hey, list my wallet. If MetaMask was like, hey, we're gonna put Cardano on MetaMask, and then they were doing it in secret, and then they came and they started testing out all the top applications on Cardano, come to find out they can't connect to any of them, they're going to be doing the exact same thing that I'm doing, and just force injecting their way into all of it. Or they're just going to be like, fuck this, I'll just go somewhere else where they're not going to make this so painful. And it's more than likely already happened. This space is probably already scared away MetaMask and Phantom and whoever else. In all honesty, they probably did want to at some point add it because there was people asking for it, and then they might have already tried and then just realized, well, it doesn't matter. Even if we do add it, none of the applications support it. And so they just gave up. I wouldn't doubt it one bit. Anyway, I just wanted to make that point, make this video, and hopefully it gets to the right people. Somebody sees it and does something about it. Charles Hoskinson, if you see this, please do something about it. If someone at IOHK that can send this to Charles, that'd be lovely. I'm coming from a good place. I don't want this shit to happen. It would be nice if these applications would properly use the standard and have less friction in the ecosystem. That's it.